So what happened with Kristaps and his knee?
We just let me see. Did probably half of what we did today, and then when we got to the scrimmage, we decided to keep him out of the scrimmage. I think last night kind of tweaked his IT band a little bit, and felt a lot better this morning. But just not really worth the risk when you think about long term. You know what we're trying to do. We're only practicing once today, so we figured that was the best time to get him a little extra rest, and then expect him to be back out there tomorrow. We'll practice twice tomorrow.
Did he tweak it during the scrimmage last night?
No, we didn't actually scrimmage last night. Just kind of during some drills and different things we were doing. I think there might have been a wet spot on the floor, but yeah, he's fine though. I mean, like I said, it was really more our group being cautious more so than him wanting to not do everything. You can see how frustrated he was, not being able to finish out, but he'll be fine.
Is that just one of the concerns with Kristaps, just keeping him healthy, because it was maybe his frame or and not just a knee thing, but just in general? I mean,
Yeah, no, I think it's a concern for all of our players, but in particular, young players that are still kind of developing as men, at 19 years old and, 7 feet tall. He's actually still growing. So, there are things you have to be conscious of and aware of. But all of our players, even though we're a team, we have individualized programs of development. And a big part of his is keeping him healthy. And that means there'll be times where we have to make decisions that kind of help him protect himself. And we feel like that's best for his long-term growth.
How do you see the front court depth behind Robin, a backup center, and how you'll play maybe the second unit in the front court?
Yeah, I mean, we're exploring a lot of that. Today was an opportunity to kind of look at some different guys in different spots. And, we're very fortunate, to have the size we have up front. Robin's going to be great for us. Kyle, Kevin, Seraphin. We talked about Lou and why we wanted him back and all the things that he brings for us. But then you still have the versatility of being able to do some things with Melo and Derek Williams and Kristaps, who's a versatile guy as a big man, even though he's 7 feet tall. So I guess I could just say we do have real depth in the front court, and that's something that's going to work well for us.
I know that you haven't seen much because you're so early into it, but based on what you know of the guys that you brought in, what do you think some of the strengths of this team are going to be?
Character. Just a professional mindset. You're not in the NBA if you're untalented, so I don't think we have to really get into who's talented. But just kind of the character of our group and the way that we're approaching what's going on daily. I think those are going to be the strengths. We're going to have some rough nights and some rough stretches, but I think we have the beginnings at least of a group that's going to be able to handle some of the adversity and setbacks that come with a long NBA season. The basketball part will kind of take care of itself as long as we become a team, and I think we have the type of guys that are interested in being a team.
How much of a difference is that from a year ago?
It's just different, until the season starts and we figure out who we are. Can't really say it's better, but it's just different. We're all different. We all have different strengths and weaknesses, and I think the strength of this particular group is not necessarily in what people consider to be, I guess, the sexy names or guys that so-called didn't come, play with our team, but guys that truly want to be here and want to be a part of what we're trying to do, and I just think it's going to help us.